Welcome back to the second half of the City Varsity 6. Imperial kick-off and Ingle putting a great shot on LSE. The scores are 12 points apiece at the start of the second half. And LSE receiving the ball look to clear their lines. The first half was a very even match, as the scoreline shows, with Imperial probably dominating possession and LSE looking to counter-attack really well. But Wang takes the ball on the halfway line. He's clattered by two LSE defenders. And the referee has the arm out to signal penalty advantage to Imperial, who look to go tight in the forwards with Berry. But Imperial with the penalty for offside early in the second half. Some half-time substitutions look to have been made, with Alex Mitchner coming on, number 21. I also see number 17, Ollie Tatlow, is on the pitch. And we have a break in play before Mitchner looks to find touch from the penalty. So just to recap the first half, LSE took an early 5-0 lead following a great counter-attack with a number of fly hacks, which was finished off in the corner brilliantly. The conditions then probably got the better of play, with Imperial bouncing back from the base of the scrum, 5 yards out from the LSE line. LSE then retook the lead, picking and going around the Imperial post, before Imperial responded in much a similar fashion on the stroke of half-time to level the scores again at 12 points all. So everything to play for in the second half. Imperial looking to retain the City Varsity Trophy for a third consecutive year. LSE looking to respond by winning the exhibition match for the first time since 2019. After that break in play, Mitchner now looks to find touch, and Bruno looks to come onto the right wing. Spencer's off. I don't know, I can't see it. I believe that Spencer's off. Bruno's coming on for club captain number 11, Spencer Ingle. We're not quite sure what's happened to Ingle, but Mitchner's missed touch, I believe, but it's back in play.
Sammy Brown dancing. Oh no.
Oh, LSE look to nudge it down backfield. Wang looks to carry back up, take it to the LSE half. And it looks like it's been held up by LSE brilliantly, and Icy now maul it forwards. It's taken down just into the LSE half. And the referee has probably said it's been taken in by Imperial, the scrum.
It's 12-12, right?
Yeah, 12.
I think Spencer looked like he was on his knees a little bit in the first half. So he might have picked up a niggle.
So there look like there have been quite a few changes in the Imperial backline. It looks like that McDermott has moved to scrum half with the number 12 shirt. Mitchner has come on in.
Andy Brown's come on as well. 22, Andy Brown.
Where's he come on at?
He's a master's student, Irish. He's come on centre.
In centres.
Inside it looks like. It's a McDermott's off.
McDermott's off.
McDermott's off.
So McDermott, Ingle, and I was saying Brown that we think are off for Imperial.
McDermott, Ingle. No, Brown's on.
Brown's on.
Brune.
No, Reese is off.
Oh, Reese, yeah. So Brune's gone for 9. He's played there a bit this season. Interesting changes.
So a number of interesting changes for Imperial in the second half in the back line. But LSE now with a great hard line. LSE now coming through. It's a great tackle by Bruno, who's just come on the pitch. Stops LSE in the tracks just outside the Imperial 22. That was a great line there by LSE, making so many yards.
Fantastic last man tackle.
I think that was from Finley Walsh. But LSE now hitting it up with the forwards. Imperial probably under pressure. LSE keeping it in the forwards, bouncing off a few tackles. Nakai left on the floor. The referee's got the arm out and gives a penalty to LSE. It's only 10 yards out from the line, and LSE go quickly up to the 5 metre now. And they have another penalty. I presume that's for not being back 10 from Imperial. LSE looking to keep the ball in hand, keeping it tight within the forwards, migrating towards the Imperial post. And they look to go wide now. 2-on-1 on the edge, but they cut back inside. Imperial make the tackle. And it goes back into the forwards, and crash ball, and LSE are in. LSE have scored. 17-12 to LSE. With a conversion to come. That is not the start to the half Imperial would have wanted, having finished so strongly. But LSE have bounced back. And their fans are right behind the team now. It's a great atmosphere here at Roslin Park. The conversion to come from Ownsley now.
He's quite wide. It's not an easy kick.
Ownsley, probably 10 yards in from the touchline, just outside the 22, looks to take this conversion. I don't know how well this is showing up on the video stream, but the conditions here are horrible tonight. This is definitely a strong drizzle coming down. Imperial chase down Ownsley, who has just missed it. So that's 1 from 4 from Ownsley tonight. And the scores are 17-12 to Imperial. So LSE with a 5-point lead, their fans right behind them, and Mitchell now looks to restart for Imperial. Restarts well. LSE gather just outside their 22. Evades a first tackle, but there's 3 Imperial players there to wrap them up. LSE now using the forwards to get into a better position and hopefully clear their lines. The box kick now, and Wang underneath it, or drops it, but that's gone backwards, I think. In my opinion, that's gone backwards. But LSE compete well over the ball and turn it over. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. They've played the ball on the floor, and that's a penalty to Imperial. Mitchell now looking to clear Imperial's lines. Probably makes about 20 yards, and they'll have the line out with Tatlow to throw in just outside. Yeah, Tats is on. Just probably 10 yards outside the LSE 22. Once again, Imperial, that familiar line out routine. Walk in. Tatlow feeds Reed. LSE get up brilliantly, but that's a free kick to LSE. Well, the Imperial crowd are not happy with that decision from the referee. Free kick. Oh, and LSE are going. They're running it. That's a really wide ball, and they look to hit the left edge. Oh, and he's dropped it. The referee doesn't appear to have given an arm. Yeah, he's pulled it back for the knock-on. Possibly not the right decision from the free kick there. They could have built territory and put Icy under pressure, but they chose to go wide, which, given the conditions, is possibly a risky choice. And Imperial now have the scrum, which was incredibly dominant in the first half. By our count in the commentary box, 4 penalties came directly from Imperial's scrum in the first half. And McDermott now at 9. Feeds the ball in. And LSC respond well from the scrum and turn the ball over. Oh, and the charge down. I believe that was from Brown. But LSC regather again. And the referees pull us back. Oh, and there's a little bit of afters there from Ownsley and between Ownsley and McDermott. This is the sort of edge we like to see in the City Varsity. It means so much to both teams. It really is the pinnacle of the rugby year for LSC with a fairly flat backline. But Icy get the nudge on again. Goff does manage to feed Ownsley, who kicks through behind Bruno. But the greasy turf sits up nicely for Wang. Wang beats a couple of defenders, taking the ball up to halfway. McDermott, look, illegally. They've turned that ball over illegally, and it is a penalty to Imperial on the halfway. And I would imagine that Michener will look for touch here and to hopefully enter the LSC 22. James.
It was a slow start to the half for IC, unfortunately. It's not what they wanted. They wanted to carry that momentum from the big score just before half-time. Oh, the ball's caught in the net. Not sure what they're going to do about that. There is a ball in the net. I'll pass back.
Fortunately, there are a number of balls available for the City Varsity. And it's just one of the hazards of playing the game at Roslyn Park next to a busy A road is that some of the balls do unfortunately get lost. But Imperial, from being resoundingly out-muscled early on in the second half, with LSC responding with a great score to retake the lead, will look to use this line out as a platform from which to build a score. Seems to be some disagreement from the LSE bench about who's coming on, off, Water. And we have a bit of a break in play, which hopefully allows some of the frustrations to calm. But I believe Finley Walsh now is coming on. So he clearly wasn't on earlier. The very jazzy LSE strip of the purple, yellow and black makes it quite difficult to distinguish the numbers from our commentary position. But Walsh now coming on. Goes straight into the line out with Tatlow to throw in. You'd imagine, again, trying to hit Reed.
Maul again.
Straight down into that Imperial maul. Imperial getting the nudge on.
You can see why they keep
starting to drive. Twisting in field. McDermott encouraging the forwards on. Just outside of the LSE 22. Still the forwards in the maul keep going.
That's what, 20 metres?
Still the forwards go.
Andy Brown will be a man aroused watching this forward performance from IC. This is absolutely sensational. He will be like Scaffolder Nick in a dressing room. Absolutely loving life.
The maul does eventually go to ground about 15 metres out from the LSE line. And we have a player down, unfortunately, so I suspect there will be a break in play. The LSE bench sprint onto the pitch to try and attend to the player and the team. Who's that that's gone down? There's clearly some concern for the player, with the staff on the sidelines looking to make sure they have the best treatment. Clearly, with the current landscape around rugby, player welfare is the utmost priority. So both sets of players will look to take this opportunity to probably regather. Imperial looking to build upon the territory they've got early in the second half, despite going a score down. The score is 17-12 to Imperial, and it looks like to LSE, and it looks like a player might be coming on for Imperial.
Likelihood. So, by the looks of it, from what we can tell up here, it's Walter Taylor who's down. His possible replacements, we have Johnny Lewis, Oscar, whatever his surname is, or Rob Wakefield. We'll see who'll be coming on, but unfortunately for Walter, it does look like it'll be a head injury as head coach Andy is on the floor supporting his neck, as protocol would suggest. We'll hope he's okay. I'm sure we'll provide you with updates after the match. But IC are in a dangerous position. We'll see if LSE's D is good enough. It usually isn't. We'll see if he can make some moves, make some territory, level up this game, and see if Max Fan can put it through.
Obviously, this is an extended break in play now, and we believe it's an Imperial player down. We think it's Walter Taylor, but obviously, our thoughts are with whoever's down. Andy Evans, the Imperial head coach, will have the best interest of the player at heart. The LSE team now looking to engage in some kind of warm-up to try and stay on the ball. Both sets of players, in fact, have a ball, trying to stay warm. And obviously all our thoughts are with the players down injured.
Can't get hold of this game. Well, I know, but he scored. No, exactly. We dropped so many balls in the backfield. No, wow. Right, no. I saw you on about the I'm quite worried for Hulk now. I mean, paramedics are running things. I don't have to.
That wasn't a head injury.
said, it's gone backwards. But LSE look to try and turn it over with momentum. McDermott feeds Nakai off to Berry, who crashes it up towards halfway. That man takes a lot of stopping. His knees are down. The tackle is complete, despite LSE trying to take the ball. But Butland now, 2 men try and take him down. McDermott again looks to the right. Mitchener. Oh, Berry! Wakefield, the replacement. Looks towards the outside. Is that Wang? Bruno steps inside. It's tackled. But Imperial getting some real momentum and going through the phases. Forwards and backs linking up well. Nakai inside. Wakefield keeps hold of the ball well there. The sting of that initial attack seems to have been weathered. Reeves breaks one tackle on the far side of the pitch. Imperial working the phases really well, but it's been spilt, and LSE look to try and regain possession of the ball. Yeah, there's been a knock on there by LSE, and that will be a scrum to Imperial.
Can you recap a little bit, because the sound was cut.
There's some really strong play from IC there, really trying to use the momentum and just hit some quick ball, and we'll see if they can make the most of this scrum now.
Yeah, looks like Finn Rogers has just come on the right wing for LSE. The score 17-12 to LSE. LSE scoring very early in the second half, but Imperial having some great phases of play just before this scrum, really working through the phases, making probably 20 yards with the ball in hand, and they now have head at feet at the scrum, but the scrum will be reset.
About 18 minutes left.
McDermott again looks to feed this icy scrum, which has been dominant at TCV6. And reliably informed it's been dominant all year, but they feed the backs. That's a great move from Bruno, cutting through the middle. And I would look to see they go left again. Mitchener now chips it through. That's a late contact. It's been dropped by LSE. Wang looks to push the ball carrier under pressure, but the referee pulls it back for, I believe, that late contact on Mitchener. Attacking kick from Mitchener, but that was a late contact from LSE. And Imperial now have the penalty just outside the LSE 22, and the referee will have a word here. The referee, having had a word with the LSE captain, now allows play to resume, and Mitchener will now look for touch. Mitchener, the PhD student who's previously turned out for Imperial Medicals, which is a controversial transition to move to the Imperial College first team. The referee won't actually allow play to continue just yet, as he moves towards the sideline. Nakai appears to have been replaced as well, so that's the captain for Imperial being replaced. Oh, he's back on. He was just hanging around on the touchline, clearly in the same deliberation as the referee. But Mitchener now finds touch well. James, I can't see anything. So Imperial have the line out on the left-hand side with Tatlow to throw in. Those of you who watch TCV5, this is a familiar picture with Imperial in all white, Tatlow to throw in, and the possibility of a rolling maul 5 yards out for Imperial. Tatlow goes towards the back of the line out, and it is into that rolling maul. It's moving infield, but not really forwards. LSE look to try and deal with it well. And that is a penalty for LSE. A penalty for LSE from that position. IC will be gutted with that. That's a real momentum swing. If LSE can clear their lines well now, that'll be a massive, massive relief of pressure. And LSE do find touch.
That's an absolutely gutting penalty to concede for IC. I mean, they had all the momentum, all the pressure. It was all looking like an IC score. And nice and close to the post. Unfortunately, LSE turned it over, got the penalty, and they've now cleared it, got a line out outside of their own 22. We'll see if IC can keep the territory. I think that's a massive part of this stage of the game. They need to keep it down and keep it close to the danger zone and see if they can convert.
Yeah, IC will be really disappointed with that penalty. Just to remind you that they are 5 points down and need to score and convert to retake the lead. But LSE from the penalty and line out look to have taken it into a maul, which is messy but still going forwards. Been taken down. The referee's pulled it up. And it looks to be a scrum to Imperial, but Berry is down with cramp. He has put in a shift today. He's done a lot of ball carries. He's combined really well with Nakai. And I would imagine there is a break in play. The Imperial front row are all fresh apart from Berry, with Joshua and Tatlow. It'd be interesting to see whether Berry can continue or whether they bring back on Johnson, who looks stripped and ready to go. The man who's already played one game prior to this today, 50 minutes for London Welsh, but now looks to come back on for his second stint with the City Varsity 6. The referee not happy with that scrum. Both sides, I would argue, pushing early there, and McDermott not putting the ball in. As with many City Varsities before this, it's been a very set-piece dominated game. The cold weather of early March combined with a bit of drizzle on the 4G surface, not lending itself well to free-throwing rugby. But Mitchener now takes it forward. McDermott looks towards the blind side again. Johnson, who's just come back onto the fray, offloads to Tomkis. Tatlow looks to secure ball. And McDermott back infield with Nakai. The captain has really put in a shift again today. And the back line now. Mitchener kicks through. An attacking kick that's quite long. And it's LSE haven't taken it. IC look to regather this ball. It's quite messy from my vantage point, but LSE look to secure possession despite initially dropping the ball, and they now look to exit and clear, kicking the ball out just outside their own 22, but Imperial will have the line out from a very promising position. Time is now 8:30. But given the extended injury break to Taylor earlier, I suspect there's probably between about 10 and 15 minutes left in this second half. Only the single score at the start of the second half to LSE to regain the lead at 17-12. Imperial, though, have had much of the territory and have threatened the LSE line, but have yet to score.
It is brewing down there. So I've just popped down from our commentary position briefly, and the atmosphere on the touchline is absolutely electric from both sides. It is fractious. No one knows who's quite going to win. The tension is palpable. We'll see how this pans out in the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, as well on the sideline we see Jacob Bow from LSE on crutches. I must have missed that injury, but obviously we wish him all the best. Hopefully it's nothing too serious and he can complete the rest of the season. But it just shows the attritional nature of the City Varsity. As Tatlow feeds Reed again, that familiar combination in this second half into the driving maul. Imperial driving forwards but also crabbing towards the touchline. They have the arm from the referee indicating penalty advantage. Clark is calling for it wide on the left hand side, but the maul keeps driving forwards and it's down. Imperial have scored. It's 17-all. Oh, what an excellent climax we've got in store for the City Varsity 6. The Imperial team are ecstatic. My co-commentator James is absolutely ecstatic. Really got a response from the IC crowd.
It's a tough kick there.
I think it's Mitchner now who's taken over kicking duties from Wang. There's a lot of anticipation you can hear in the crowd. LSE looking to try and put off Mitchner, who kicks and hits the post! Mitchner hits a post, it's 17-all! It's 17-all and LSE hurled dog's abuse at Mitchner for that miss. There must only be about 10 minutes left in this game. And that's including the break to the injured Taylor earlier in the second half. Oundley now looks to restart well for LSE. He goes quite shallow, and Nakai picks up the ball on the 22. Oh, that's a great support line there from Mitchner. He looks to take away some LSE defenders. Brown now feeds wide to Clark. Clark on the left wing. Oh, steps inside, beats a couple of men. McDermott now towards Wakefield in that good shape. Oh, it's an excellent hit from LSE. I think that might have been Ed Boston. But Nakai, the captain now. Oh, he's knocked it on. He's knocked it on and LSE look to counter-attack immediately. It's Rogers. It's taken down well by Wakefield. Johnson now looks to hold up the ball, and the referee stops play. We go back for the earlier knock-on from Imperial, and it'll be a scrum to LSE. James.
So as it currently stands, the two teams are tied, and if we've learned anything about ties in varsity matches from the bottle match slightly earlier this term, which ended in a tie, unrightly so, the rules for varsity matches are that it cannot, the match cannot possibly end in a tie. I'm not entirely sure, I think it would go to extra time, but we'll see.
But LSE now, with the crowd behind them, have header feed at the scrum. It's yet another reset. It hasn't been the free-flowing game many of us would have hoped for at City Varsity 6, potentially hampered by the conditions. But LSE with a deep backline set up and prepared. Look to try and attack that left edge. But it's a free kick to LSE. And I wonder whether they follow the theme of the night and go quickly. It's a bit of indecision from the LSE team. But they do eventually run it. Oh, the referee brings it back. I don't think they're up the mark. But Goff now takes possession of the ball. I suspect he will tap and feed the forwards. He does, and Nakai, also great contact. Goff. Now, the forwards again. LSE making great yards, actually keeping it tight. We haven't seen too many yards being made, ball in hand, and they have the arm. They've got a penalty advantage from the referee. Oh, and that's a penalty. That is a penalty to LSE for not rolling away. You would imagine with so little time left on the clock, you'd go for posts. But it remains to be seen what LSE do. They have opted to go quickly many times tonight, but they are going for posts indeed. The scores are currently level with 17 points apiece. There isn't much time left on the clock. The IC crowd for the first time tonight look to try and encourage their team and potentially put off Ownsley, who's only slotted 1 from 4 off the tee. But this potentially the most crucial and potentially winning kick. The IC crowd looking to put off Ownsley, who kicks. It's high, it will have the distance, and he's missed! He's missed! And Brown looks to counter-attack immediately with Clark. The scores are still level, and that was a golden opportunity for LSE to wrap up this tie. McDermott asks for his forwards, but pulls it back to Mitchener, who exits. Oh, that's a brilliant, brilliant clearing kick. The crowd getting far too excited and close to the touchline here. Go on the tunnel, get on the tunnel, get on the tunnel. The referee wants everyone back from the touchline. The crowd getting very excited and encroaching onto the pitch.
Could all the supporters please step back from the touchline? Step back from the touchline. Onto the concrete, please. Thank you. Oh, step back! Come back from the touchline.
Once the referee's happy, O'Connor now looks to feed the LSE line out. Oh, that's an excellent step. And LSE now looking to go left. Oh, they've got an overlap. Bruno, can he defend? Oh, the numbers have got across to support. And LSE have got the arm again. It's another penalty advantage to LSE.
A comment saying, I love Will
But LSE have gone wide. They've now attacked the right wing. It's number 22, Finn Rogers, trying to make a break. But he feeds Kareem Akarakiri, who's had an excellent couple of minutes, both at the line out and that break there. And the referee goes, I would argue the penalty was not that far forward at all. It was definitely within the LSE half. I think the referee's given them a good 15 metres there. But LSE have another penalty. And having only slotted 1 from 5 off the boot, he's now going to the touchline, despite the LSE bench waving the tee in frustration. But to touch it goes. Oh, that's not the connection Ownsley would have wanted. And it'll be a line out just outside the Imperial 22. Former captain for LSE, Ludo Milne, leading the chance on the sideline, trying to rouse his team, his former team rather, over the try line. But they'll have a long way to go from this line out. It's a loose line out, but LSE do regather. Joshua now tries to attack the ball, but LSE regather, committing numbers up the rock, and now looking to go wide. Oh dear, that's forward. They've knocked that on. Yeah, the referee now giving the arm to Imperial rather, and it will be another scrum. Yet another set piece. The LSE fans in front of us giving chants of encouragement, but the LSC crowd away to our left. What did I say? LSE. Rather, the IC crowd away to our left, getting very excited about having possession of the ball once again. It's yet another reset from the referee.
Temptation just to get me 10 ways.
There have been a lot of set pieces in this 6th edition of the City Varsity. And I must admit, they haven't been going quite as quickly as I'd have liked. It's been a very different game to the women's match earlier, which finished 102 points to 0 to Imperial.
Thomas asked for more profanity.
This men's game has been a far cagier affair. But McDermott feeds the scrum again. IC once again reasserting their dominance at the scrum. McDermott has knocked it onto the base potentially, but the referee has allowed play to go on with penalty advantage. And indeed we go back to that penalty. Mitchiner now looks to, oh, that's a beautifully judged kick. I thought that might have been short, but it's just perfectly judged, And Imperial now have the ball inside the LSE half. There can't be too much longer in this second half. I don't know how long the referee has stopped the clock for, with stoppages for injuries and set piece resets. But Imperial with Tatlow, Reed, once again into that driving maul, that familiar sight, and both sets of supporters encouraging their teams, but Imperial keep rolling forwards towards the 22, but also the touchline, and the referee gives penalty advantage, and Mitchell, ooh, that's a shank. My co-commentator assures me that was an attempt at a drop kick, but it's gone dead. But Imperial do have the penalty once again. You'd imagine that they go to the corner here. 5 points down, 17-12 to LSE the score. Not long left on the clock. James.
With the scores tied in the last, in the closing stages of the game, I think Mitchner's had his sights set on glory. He wanted that back page. He wanted that front page. Unfortunately not to be, but it's a very, very strong position for IC now with a scrum on the 22. We'll see if they can capitalise.
Some deliberation amongst the Imperial backs. Brown, gestures of encouragement to his teammates. LSE looking to not quite number up with the back three behind the scrum and also behind the line. It's yet another scrum reset. The crowd on the sidelines are getting rather tetchy, waiting for the ball to get back in play. But once again, the familiar sight of McDermott feeding the Imperial scrum, who get the nudge on, and it goes down, and Imperial have the penalty advantage again. Mitchiner. McDermott looks to the right again. Oh no, back to the blind side. Nakai and Reed. Current captain and former captain combining. But LSE are off feet. LSE are off feet, and that's another penalty to Imperial. It should be done. It should be done. There can't be much longer left in this second half. We obviously had that significant break earlier for the injury to Walter Taylor, but we must be coming close to crunch point. I can't imagine there being much more than a few minutes left. But Imperial, following that penalty, have have a line out 5 metres out with Tatlow to throw and feed Reed. For those of you who watched TCV5, this is a very, very familiar sight. And for those of you with an Imperial College persuasion, hopefully the same result. Tatlow does throw to Reed. Immediately! Oh, I can't believe the ref's not given an arm there. Imperial seem to keep it tight within the forwards. I believe that's Tomkis taking it into centre field. Imperial keeping it within that pick and go structure. Trying to edge close towards that LSE line, but the defence holding. And now they go wide. Michener. Oh, it's a great double man hit. And IC still 5-10 yards down. Oh, LSE turned it over. Oh, unfortunately illegally. The referee is not happy with that, and it's another penalty to Imperial. Kick. Surely you kick here.
They've tried the kick that's now, 3 kicks into the corner?
No, post.
Oh, post. Yeah, true.
The scores are level at 17 all. I can't imagine there is much time left on the clock at all.
It is close, though.
And Imperial have a penalty
It could be charged out.
not far from the post. You can take it back.
True. We don't have much range in our kick, though.
And they are indicating for a T. I think that is the right call for Imperial. Michener. Michener is going for post. What a dramatic conclusion to the City Varsity 6 this could be. LSE looked to have the chance to win it earlier when Ownsley went for post but missed. Michener now, from a far kinder angle, now has the opportunity for IC to convert. The LSE crowd up to their usual antics, trying to put off the kicker. Whereas the IC crowd wait, bated breath. And he's got it! Michener has got it! That's 20 points to 17! And the bench go wild, and that is it! The City Varsity 6 has been won by Imperial with the last kick of the game. Oh, that is unbelievable! The crowd go wild. And I must admit, I'm going to desert my commentary post and go and join them. That is unbelievable. The final score, Imperial 20, LSE 17. Imperial defend both the men's and the women's trophies. The women's final score, 102 points to 0. The men's final score, 20 points to 17. Thank you very much. Oh, that is excellent. Thank you very much.
The moments of your life deserve to be celebrated, treasured, remembered, shared, and protected. This is Kinscape, a 100% private network for your community. Who is your community? Anyone you invite in. Kinscape is not like every other social media network out there. We don't track your behavior, and we never share your information or show you ads. This is your space for you to share all your memories with only the people you choose. You own all the content. We just help secure it. Kinscape lets you create many different communities and invite others to join. You can even adjust your profile for each community that you're a member of. We let you tell your story, then help you share it to those you want. And what would a private, protected space be without a vault where all your photos, videos, and documents can be stored for safekeeping? After all, there is nothing more important than protecting the people you love. We just want to help you do it.